I'm losing weight and I'm eating
Jackie's
so
always
much
right.
more.
It's scary. Jackie's always right.
Not always, but most of the time. Anyway, so let's talk about food. What can we do about food during the holidays? So we're running around like crazy. We're shopping, waiting on lines, this and that and the other thing. It's important to plan in advance. More important than ever right now to plan in advance. So easy things like have a rotisserie chicken in your refrigerator. Have like healthier cold cuts, the ones that don't have any nitrates and antibiotics and hormones and all that stuff, because God knows we don't need any more hormones. Have those in the refrigerator readily available so that when you're running out to the store, don't go hungry, because then you're going to start buying the snacks in the store and eating those.
Right, absolutely.
Just take a couple of roll-ups with you. Make hard-boiled eggs. Those should always be in somebody's refrigerator. Things like that.
And refer to the list, the secret B3H plus.
The secret B3H
plus list of
optimal foods list.
Right. And I love your pregame with protein.
Oh, yeah, that's my legacy. Anyway, pre-gaming with protein is about, it's not just about this, but I created that for people that like to indulge in cocktails here and there and wine. It's important to have protein as a buffer before you have any kind of alcohol, because alcohol is going to raise your insulin levels.
Also, you'll be uninhibited. Oh, give me another slice.
I'll have another bunch of fries. But anyway, so it's important to lay a buffer down so your blood sugar doesn't elevate and you don't secrete too much insulin, which is a fat storage hormone. So it's important before you go out to these cocktail parties, have some protein. Hard-boiled eggs, rolled up cold cuts, chicken, whatever. Even nuts. Bring a little bag of nuts with
right,
you.
That's such a great, it's not a tip. It's chemistry. It's also giving someone an advantage, and it's the opposite thinking. They might say, oh, I'm going to a wedding.
I'm not going to eat anything
before, so I can eat there. And then in essence, that's
the worst
putting a lot of
thing to do.
stress on the body, and you store a greater number of calories and probably overeat too. More likely to overeat.
Because then by the time they get to the wedding, their body's going, okay, you have a calorie deficit of about 1,000 calories right now, so we're going to make that up right now. And you can't stop eating, and you're at the cocktail hour, and you're eating the pigs in the blanket and everything else. You got to have protein throughout the day and protein before you go to an event, and then you can relax and just pick the healthier things.
Well, let's talk about Jill, because we both worked with Jill on the B3H plus. So it's like the 1-2 punch getting ready for the holiday season. Or instead of gaining, like you were just stating that fact, what about prevention and detoxing the body and preparing for it rather than waiting for New Year's resolution when you're
a smart thing to do.
Right. So we both work with her, and so
Jill was one of the really smart women that said to themselves, you know what? I know the number one resolution at New Year's is to lose weight. I don't want to be one of those people. Right. I want to lose weight before.
Right. She started early October.
Yeah. And so she gave it all she had. And wow, Jill really did amazing, didn't she?
She did, because also I think very often an individual might say, well, I'll just start with one thing. And so we start with this crowding out method.
I love the crowd out.
And once their body is past the detox stage, their body is prepared. And also during that stage with the Reboot Fitness part of the program, it's really important because the exercise plan changes with each phase. And so that's very important too. So as your energy level changes, your body is prepared.
Right.
So it's less stressful. And she lost 15 pounds. So we know she's listening tonight.
I wish we had a picture of Jill.
I know.
Before and after.
I'll bring one next time.
Okay.
So a special shout out to our success story.
Yay, Jill. Okay. So I just read something very interesting. It was a research study that showed that exercise, independent of diet. This is the first time I've ever heard this.
Ooh. Drum roll? Drum roll.
Yeah. Because you know how all our plans start with the gut?
Yes.
Healing the gut,
yes.
and then detoxing the liver, and then healing the adrenals. So exercise, independent of diet, helped people lose weight, but not for the reasons you think. Not because it burned more calories and more fat. It actually...
That's Jill.
Jill! We'll call you back.
Call in directly to the station.
So anyway, so what happens is when the control group exercised, it sort of like created more strains of probiotics in their intestines, which helped them to lose weight. Isn't that wild?
It's amazing. I think there's more. The technology has improved. The testing has improved. That's why one of our really important, how we explain the program is that it's customization and that we don't guess, we test. So just what you're stating is more information, which is not only motivating everyone to really look beyond the calories, but to use this information to get motivated as to why now is the right time.
Now's the time. Don't wait till after the holidays
When you're
to
sporting
the wellness wagon.
the sprinkles.
Yeah, you know what? It's important even if you start like 2 weeks or a week before, at least you started. And, we all know that's the hardest part, right?
Yes.
It's the hardest part is starting. But once you do it, once you step that first step forward and either get into the gym or start eating healthily, getting on the B3H program, you're in there. And then you just keep doing it.
Okay,
But
so let's break that down for a second. Getting started. Let's look at some of the reasons why someone would procrastinate feeling better. And very often one reason, I know some reasons that have been presented to me is number one, I don't want to be uncomfortable because I have a very busy schedule. So they associate feeling lethargic and tired and some of these negative symptoms with I'm not going to be able to exercise or I'm not going to be able to live my lifestyle. So that's why working with a professional like yourself and going through the program really addresses some of those.
are you talking about the detox, them not wanting to start a detox because they think they'll be uncomfortable?
Yes, I'm just saying sometimes what I want to address the why someone would say not yet.
Okay. And that is the number one reason. They have all kinds of visions of, I'm going to have headaches and this, that. And yes, that can happen to some degree, but this program is so gentle and really moves someone along at a really slow pace that doesn't generally happen. Or if it does, it's so mild compared
That you
to
can make adjustments.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then you just back down a little bit. But it's not like someone's going to be running to the bathroom every 5 minutes. That's not what it's about at all.
Well, it's medically supervised. It was created with
Yeah.
the medical team
Right.
that is specific. It's not a generic program that's one size fits all, which is always amazing to me that so many programs, someone will just be like, oh, what's the hottest thing? Or is it paleo? Or is it, we'll leave them nameless, XYZ program. And it's just, you wouldn't buy a size 14 men's shoe if you're a size 7 woman's athletic trainer for your specific reason. So this is specifically for women over 40, and the symptoms are different, the needs are different, and what we're addressing is really about preparing the body so the body does what it's designed to do.
Exactly. And, the plans where people have those things happen to them are really the plans that they find on their own, do it unsupervised, go off and do these detoxes and whatever else. And then they don't really know what they're doing. Like I wouldn't know what I was doing if I did something that I wasn't an expert in, and I probably would have bad results. And that's what happens. And then people say, I don't want to do a detox because this is what happens. But that's what happens when you do your own detox.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up, Jacqui, because I really want to emphasize the difference between a detox and a medically supervised detox. These are specific medical grade programs that are just in terms of the process of what they're taking. Could you explain what that first step is? Because I think sometimes someone might go to a general vitamin shop and say to the woman behind the counter, hi, do you have anything for a detox? And they'll say, here, take this.
Right.
So there's no instructions. We don't know what it's for. We don't know if there's any contraindications with the vitamin. We don't know where that's sourced. They don't even know what it is, but they just are, I don't want to say like the equivalent of a fashion victim, but someone that is really trying and they're not addressing the underlying issues of balance. Just think in terms of an ingredient or
Well, basically, as I said before, it's a very slow, gentle approach. And so we start everyone.
we like gentle.
We like gentle. So we start people off on what we call a pre-cleanse the first week. And so that's all about healing the gut. It's all about taking the inflammatory foods out of the diet, crowding them out with anti-inflammatory foods, and then healing the gut with certain nutrients like probiotics. L-glutamine is a great nutrient for healing the gut. Collagen is awesome, and then digestive enzymes, which are a really nice part of a cleanse, but also a weight loss plan because it helps you break down your food and absorb it better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
it.
a
So
proprietary
yeah, and
blend.
I never have ever seen another program where you do a whole week of that prior to detoxing. And I think that's what sets it apart is that attention to the gut. It's all about the gut.
It makes sense. I think when people, especially women that are looking to increase their energy level, it's not just about weight loss. That's just your body finding its healthy weight and energy. But there's a myriad of symptoms that sometimes we're creatures of habit. And when I listen to conversations or I'm often asked, I have no energy or my hair is thinning or I'm fatigued or dry skin, those are also symptoms that go along with inflammation or
Sure.
feeling bloated or carrying excess weight and feeling fatigued.
Right.
So the benefits just go on and on and on.
Absolutely. So you think you're coming for the benefit of weight loss, and then